TV47 Weekend Edition. So we have so much lined up for you on this broadcast, but first, the highlights. Four people, including a child, perish in two separate road accidents in Kericho and Trans Nzoia counties.
Hiyo gari ikakwepa shimo na ikagonga pikipiki.
As motorists are warned to exercise caution as they beat the rush for Christmas.
Wawe waangalifu sana wakati huu wa Krismasi, waendeshe gari kwa makini.
Residents of Naivasha want the Church of God in Mayela investigated over claims of radical teachings which led to the deaths of 4 minors.
Ati atupelekangi watoto hospitali na hiyo kanisa ni ya Shetani. Mimi nikasema kwangu hakuna shida kuambia kanisa ni ya Shetani.
And traders and residents of the Kenya-Uganda border trooped to the Kenyan side to shop for the festivities due to the deteriorating Kenyan shilling, which gives them more buying power.
Sasa ukikompea kazi ya saa hii na ya kitambo, kuna tofauti na tuna ni faida.
Welcome to the broadcast. We invite you to engage with us on our social media handles at TV47 News on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook. My X handle is at Grace Kuria KE. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Catherine Simaloy. My name is Grace Kuria Kanja. Once again, welcome to the broadcast. Now we kick off on a sad note where 4 people, including a child, have perished in 2 separate road accidents in Kericho and Trans Nzoia counties. This comes as motorists have been warned to exercise caution as they beat the rush for Christmas festivities. Vera Alberta kicks us off tonight.
With the holiday season peaking, reports of cases of road accidents have increased across the country. In Trans Nzoia County, 3 people have died following a road accident that involved a motorbike and a 14-seater matatu along the Sibanga-Moise Bridge Highway, with witnesses saying the driver of the matatu was trying to avoid a pothole that was in the middle of the road when he collided head-on with the motorbike that was coming from the other side of the road.
Ajali imetokea hapa. Gari ilikuwa inatoka upande wa maili 8 na pikipiki inatoka upande wa Moise Bridge. Hasa ikawa vijana wako kwa pikipiki. Hiyo gari ikakwepa shimo na ikagonga pikipiki.
Barabara hii ina mashimo zaidi. Maana yule jamaa wa gari kama akungekuwa na shimo angekuwa katika mkono wake.
Pumps yenye iliwekwa haijawekwa alama. Mtu mgeni hawezi jua kuna pump hapa. Kwa hivyo maisha mengi yamepotezwa kwa hiyo barabara.
Cherangany Sub-County Police Commander Okumudulo has confirmed the incident, urging the drivers of vehicles and motorbikes to ensure they're observing road safety measures, especially during the Christmas season.
Napenda kuchukua hii fursa kuonya madereva ya pikipiki na hata magari wawe waangalifu sana wakati huu wa Krismasi, waendeshe gari kwa makini na pia wasiendeshe gari kwa kazi. Hapo mahali ilikuwa na pothole, tunaomba kera, kwa sababu barabara ni ya kera, wajaze hizo potholes ili wananchi wasipate shida kama hii ya leo.
The leadership of the region, led by Cherangany Member of Parliament Patrick Simiyu, now wants the National Transport Safety Authority together with the Kenya Urban Roads Authority to ensure there are clear signposts to guide drivers on various things, including speed limit, to curb the menace of road accidents in the region.
Posts ambazo ziliwekwa hasionekani. Hiyo barabara ni mpya, magari yanaenda kwa kasi sana. So area ya pumps inatakana iangaliwe tena. Signpost isiwekwe vizuri, na pia ninaomba wakati wa Christmas inakuwa na mambo mengi, naomba wenye wanatumia hii barabara, ni barabara mpya na iko na lami, tafadhali chunga hali yako ya maisha yako.
Elsewhere in Muhoroni, one minor perished while 19 other people were rushed to Kericho County Referral Hospital and Fort Tanan Sub-County Hospital, with 46 sustaining minor injuries after a bus they were traveling in lost control at a tunnel flyover along the Londiani-Fort Tanan Muhoroni Highway.
Now, tonight, the EACC is urging those co-accused with former CS Najib Balala and who have since gone into hiding to surrender. This as the former Tourism Cabinet Secretary, who becomes the first former CS in the Uhuru administration to be arrested in the new administration, was released on a 5 million shillings bond or a 1 million shillings cash bill after pleading not guilty to 10 counts of alleged corruption deals related to an 8.5 billion shillings fraud case for the construction of the multi-billion Ronald Ngala Utalii College.
Friday, a former top state employee was the guest of the state after being arrested by detectives from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission (EACC). Najib Balala, who steered the tourism docket under the Uhuru Kenyatta regime, was briefly detained and processed at the Integrity Center police station alongside 3 others of alleged involvement in 8.5 billion irregular payment of the construction of Utalii College, Kilifi County. Balala and 3 others, including Leah Adaguyo, the former principal secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, and Joseph Odero of West Consult Engineers, are among 16 suspects involved in the billions of shillings saga, 11 yet to be arrested. The former CS and the co-accused were whisked away to an anti-corruption court in Malindi.
In due course, other state officials at both national and county governments will be arrested and taken to court.
And in Malindi, before the Chief Magistrate James Mwaniki, Balala pleaded not guilty to 10 counts read to him before the court, where he stood accused that on the 13th day of December, Balala, then the Minister of Tourism, jointly used his office to improperly confer benefits to some companies, which led to irregular payment of more than 3 billion Kenya shillings. Balala and his co-accused stand being accused of willful failure to comply with the laws relating to procurement contrary to Section 45(2)(b), unlawful acquisition of public property contrary to Section 45(2), abuse of office contrary to Section 46, the 3 counts as read with 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime Act No. 3 of 2023. According to EACC, investigations undertaken by the Commission regarding the regular payment of 8.5 billion shillings by the Tourism Fund, 4 billion shillings was paid to the Baseline Architects Limited for consultancy services. The college, sitting on a 40-acre plot meant to be a multifaceted tourism institution to train personnel of hospitality industry in Kenya, construction has stalled for years, with the EACC highlighting that the construction of the college initially was approved at a cost of 1.948 billion shillings in a cabinet memo signed by the then Minister Najib Balala on the 22nd May of 2007 and his finance counterpart on the 20th of August 2007. With private consultants involved in architectural design and drawing getting paid 8.6 billion shillings. Balala, who served as tourism minister for 12 years in 3 successive governments, becomes the first former minister to be arrested since William Ruto was elected last year, vowing to tackle corruption. After his day in court, he was released on a 5 million bond or 1 million cash bail. The court also ordered Odero to be released on a 3 million bond with a surety of a similar amount of 800,000 shillings. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is further stating that more arrests are going to be enforced, targeting even officials in the national and county governments. Mwigi William, TV47, Integrity Center, Nairobi.
Thank you, Moige William, for that. Now, a place of worship by the name Church of God in Mayela, Naivasha, is on the spot, following the deaths of 4 minors in the last couple of months after their parents refused to take them to hospital for immunization and medication due to their religious beliefs. Members of the public now want the church vetted afresh and closed if it fails to meet criteria. However, the members are adamant that nothing shall move their faith. Loosely translated to mean, I shall never take medication with my own mouth. Such is the defiance of the members of Kanithawa Gai, if you like, Church of God in Naivasha. See, if their statements today while at the Mayela police station are anything to go by, they are well aware of what they're doing.
Mimi niko na watoto watatu, nilikuwa na watoto wanne, mmoja akaaga na nikamzika. Alafu kukakuwa ati atupelekangi watoto hospitali na hiyo kanisa ni ya Shetani. Mimi nikasema kwangu hakuna shida kuambia kanisa ni ya Shetani. Alafu kukakuwa ati watoto wamegojeka, ati nimewaweka kwa nyumba. Sikatai walikuwa wamegojeka na hakuna mtu agojekangi hii area hata pale pengine na wanapona. Mimi imani wenye nimeitikia wanasema serikali wanasema ati tunaambiwa na mhubiri wetu anaitwa John Shege. Na hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Mimi hata nikiimani nikienda hii kanisa siku hapa nilikuwa Nyahururu. Sasa hiyo ni kuwekelewa. Mimi nafuata maandiko. Maandiko inaniambia ati mimi nisiende hospitali. Mungu aliniambia mashida yangu yote nimpelekee. Na ndivyo huwa nafanya. Na mimi nimesema kwanza kwangu kanisa nitasoma mpaka kufa kwangu. Kanisa kufa kwangu. Hapana. Kanisa mimi sitaacha. Kutoka leo namjua hivyo.
So what does she do whenever her children fall ill?
Ninawapelekanga na ni mbinguni, sio hapa, sio kwa watu. Kwa sababu mtu mwenye amezaliwa na mwanamke anawezaje kuwa ati ndio Mungu wangu? Naenda kumtubu mtu. Siwezi hiyo, siwezi.
The sect leader is still at large, with details emerging that some of the dead minors were buried in the church compound in unclear circumstances.
So far we've arrested two parents.
According to locals, members of the sect were rising gradually from 2016, leading to more suffering for tens of children.
Maombi yangu, hiyo barua yao wamepewa na serikali ichunguzwe upya.
Their concerns are vindicated by the Shakahola massacre, which led to the deaths of more than 400 persons, residents fearing that if not tamed, this could be another Shakahola. Moving on, and hundreds of residents from Western Gishu and neighboring Nandi and Kakamega counties thronged the home of President William Ruto for early Christmas giveaways. The residents jammed roads as early as 4 a.m. as goodies were offloaded from several lorries at his Sugoi home. The long queues filled up by joyous residents as they received packets of wheat flour, cooking oil and rice.
These were the scenes at President William Ruto's home in Sugoi. Hundreds of residents from Uasin Gishu County, neighboring Nandi and Kakamega counties thronged the home of the head of state for early Christmas giveaways. The roads were busy from as early as 4 a.m. as goodies were offloaded from several lorries, while the Christmas season this time coming amid economic strife, which has pushed the prices of many basic commodities out of the reach of millions of Kenyans. The head of state used the opportunity to give a message of hope to Kenyans, insisting that Kenya is indeed in a much better place economically as compared to other nations.
Tunaheshimiwa duniani kote. Juzi World Bank wamesema nchi ya Kenya ni nchi ya 3 duniani ambayo inapokea pesa nyingi ya diaspora. World Bank wakasema nchi ya Kenya ni nchi ambayo uchumi inakuwa katika duniani kote namba 29 kwa nchi karibu 200.
Saa ingine dawa si tamu, lakini daktari akisema ukunywe dawa, unakunywa dawa. Sasa Kenya imetoka kwa ICU, imekuja kwa HDU na inaenda kwa ward, itapona.
With less than 2 weeks before schools reopen for January, and amid reports that school fees is set to rise, President William Ruto affirmed his commitment in shaping the education sector, where he alluded that already has employed at least 56,000 teachers, and this will go a long way.
Ya muhimu kuliko mambo yote ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba mtoto wa kila Mkenya anapata nafasi ya kusoma. Na ndio sababu tumeajiri walimu wapya 56,000 Kenya mzima. Ndio watoto wetu wadogo waweze kupata nafasi ya kusoma katika shule ya chekechea, shule ya primary, shule ya secondary na hata katika college mpaka university.
As we speak, a teachers' union has made fresh proposal to split junior secondary school into two and domicile the learning levels in primary and secondary schools, something that will cause more confusion as we move forward. However, the president has assured residents that those who will not afford the health services will be covered by the government come next year.
Kuanzia mwaka ujao, kila mtu atapata bima ya afya. Kila mtu. Hata yule wewe huna pesa ya kulipa, tutakupatia bima ya afya na tutalipa kama serikali. Wale saa hii mko na NHIF. Si hapa watu wako na NHIF? Hebu nione wala wako na NHIF hapa. Bas, nyinyi ambaye mko na NHIF na mnalipa shilingi 500. Sawa? Tumesema assess. Kama mapato yako iko chini kidogo, tutakupunguzia hiyo 500, utaanza kulipa 300.
President Ruto's plan in January is to commence in housing projects in Eldoret town and parts of Rift Valley. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Thank you, Paul Kirobi, for that. Now, the results of the post-mortem remains of Meru blogger and activist Daniel Muthiani, commonly known as Sniper, has revealed that he was strangled to death with some marks on his neck of a rope and later thrown into the river. Daniel went missing on the 2nd of December, and his remains were found on the 6th at Mutonga River in Tharaka-Nithi County in an exercise that was conducted by the government pathologist Dr. Johansen Odwar in the presence of DCI officers and family pathologist Dr. Benjamin Kanake. The results showed that there were other injuries in his chest and ribs, saying that all other organs were normal. According to the family members who showed their satisfaction with the results, they said all they want now is justice and the criminals who did that brought to book.
So upon doing the postmortem, our finding was that the Red Bernard was actually strangled. There was some mark on the neck, which was caused by a rope. He had evidence of someone who had lacked air, and which led to his death. We also saw some injuries on the chest. There were rib fractures on the right side, from the 7th, 8th, and 9th rib on the right side. The injuries that we saw was on the head, because we saw a lot of bruising also on the scalp on the left side. Yeah. Taken samples actually. What we've done, we've taken samples for toxicology. Because being that we saw that he didn't resist so much, we want to see whether there was something he was given prior to the murder.
Sasa tungeomba saizi, sababu sasa maneno ni kama ndisa yao, wale wa uzunguzi wamemaliza maneno yao, tusikie tu hata kesho watu wako ndani. Tusikie tu hata watu wanaenda, justice inaendelea kufanya kazi yake.
Now, the raft of changes in the competency-based curriculum following recommendations by the Presidential Work Party has been praised and critiqued in equal measure, with stakeholders now saying the reduction of learning areas for students will help boost their mental well-being. And as Andreen Kilemi reports, the changes will take effect as soon as schools reopen. That is in January, whereby lessons for lower primary learners will reduce from 35 to 31 every week.
With the imminent reopening of schools in a little over a fortnight, primary school education is undergoing noticeable transformations, with the Ministry of Education's decision to decrease the number of lessons for students now garnering both praise and criticism in equal measure. According to educationists, reduction in the number of subjects is a positive step in alleviating the existing burden and will significantly enhance the mental well-being of both students and teachers.
Kwa hakika wanafunzi wetu na akili zao changa wamekuwa wakishughulikia masomo mengi zaidi, na hilo limekuwa likiwaathiri watoto wetu kisaikolojia. Nikiangazia upande wa wadarisi ama walimu katika shule zetu, vile watakuwa na kazi nyepesi kwa sababu wamekuwa wakishughulikia masomo mengi na wakati mwingine wakakosa kumaliza silabasi kwa wakati unaostahili.
In the new changes, pre-primary learners, those in PP1 and PP2, shall undertake not more than 5 learning areas, while those in senior school, grades 10 to 12, will undertake not more than 7 learning areas. Effective January, in lower primary, the learning areas will reduce from the current 9 to 7, while the number of lessons will reduce from 35 to 31 per week, including a pastoral program of instruction. Those in the upper primary sections of grades 4 to 6 will undertake not more than 8 learning areas, with their lessons reduced from 40 to 35 per week. These changes could, however, result in setbacks for education stakeholders, particularly book publishers, who had previously released books covering a range of subjects.
Mashirika tayari yalikuwa yamekwisha chapisha vitabu vya masomo ambayo yamekwisha ondolewa na kumezwa katika masomo mengine.
Parents and other education stakeholders have further been urged to embrace the modification in the competency-based curriculum to enhance overall quality of education in the country. Andrin Ekilemi, TV 47.
Thank you, Andrin Kilemi, for that. Now, traders and businessmen from Uganda are reaping big at the Kenya-Uganda border just days ahead of Christmas celebrations. But even more concerning are the circumstances under which the huge profits are coming in. The fall of the shilling against the dollar has made it easier for Ugandan traders to purchase goods from the Kenyan side and sell at a profit in Uganda.
That the Kenyan shilling has been performing poorly against the US dollar is not a secret. Whereas the depreciation of the Kenyan shilling has come much to the chagrin of Kenyans, to Ugandans at the Kenya-Uganda border, this has been a silver lining. Welcome to Busia, where business is booming. Among those reaping big are traders such as John Otoo from Uganda. Essentially, what John means is the depreciation of the Kenyan shillings means they buy goods at a cheaper price from the Kenyan side and sell at a profit in Uganda.
Nilikuja hapa kununua vitu za Uganda. Hata mchele, ngano hiyo, sabuni, chumvi na anything.
Paul Ochieng, who owns a big store here in Busia, says the festive season has also led to increased and booming business.
Kitambo tulikuwa tunafunga saa 10:30, lakini saa hii inabidi tufunge saa 1:30.
As of Friday, the dollar was trading at 156 Kenyan shillings, and that has continued to weaken the shilling. More so, the Kenyan shilling has depreciated further by 11 shillings to the Ugandan shilling in the last 1 year.
Nikilinganisha biashara kutoka mwezi ya Januari na saa hii ni tofauti sana, kwa sababu tunafanya kazi kwa wingi kabisa. Hata unaweza ona gari wanaleta kila mara gari ku offload na mali kuchukuliwa.
According to the traders, much of their clientele is from the Ugandan side more than those buying from the Kenyan side. George Maringa, TV 47.
Thank you, George Maringa, for that. To Vihiga County now, where the Assembly leadership has come out to condemn Thursday's move by ASCC detectives who raided the County Assembly building situated in Vihiga, carrying out a search in a move believed to be part of ongoing investigations over allegations of fraud at the devolved unit. The County Assembly's Speaker, Chris Omulele, says that the unit is ready to account for every shilling spent, further questioning the move by detectives, adding that so far no county officer has either been summoned or arrested, vowing to proceed to court in case the probe proves futile. Our reporter Arnold Adidi tells us more.
I, as the Speaker of this Assembly, I state without fear that I know of no money that has been lost from this fund, and I am prepared to make this statement in any court of law.
Just a day after the Vihiga County Assembly played host to unexpected EACC detectives, the Assembly's leadership today broke silence over the matter, expressing concerns about the raid. The Vihiga County Assembly Speaker Chris Omulele downplaying allegations of misappropriation of public funds at the Assembly, where EACC claims that over 300 million Kenya shillings was siphoned by individuals through car and mortgage allowances for MCAs.
It is not possible for anybody to attempt or to be accused of embezzling 300 million shillings out of a kitty of 200 million, from which kitty 36 members of this county assembly have fully benefited to their rightfully assigned entitlement.
The Speaker further lamented over what he terms as use of force to obtain information, stating that the Assembly was willing to provide information required by the anti-fraud unit. In addition, he says that despite the raid, no officer at the Assembly has been summoned or arrested. At the center of this probe are the County Assembly Clerk Ambaka Kilinga and the Director of Financial Services Oscar Jagona, who EACC connects to the alleged mismanaging of over 300 million Kenya shillings offered as mortgage and car allowances.
We have not seen any charge sheet. We have not seen any arraignment order. We have not seen any court summons for any of our officers to go to court. We have not seen the concurrence of the Director of Public Prosecutions for any of our officers to be prosecuted for matters that the EACC has raised and came to the Assembly of Vihiga over yesterday. We are waiting, and if it comes, we shall be ready to go to that court.
While responding to the ongoing probe by EACC, the chairperson of the Car and Mortgage Unit at the Assembly, Karega Mbuku, has stated that considering the limited budget allocated to the Assembly every year, it will not be possible for the alleged amount of 300 million Kenya shillings to be mismanaged.
Budget yetu ya Assembly hapa ni shilingi milioni 600 na kitu. Sasa mtu kuandika au kudai kwamba zaidi ya milioni 300 imetumika, imeibiwa, tutakuwa tumeiba hiyo pesa, na wafanyakazi hapa watalipwa pesa ngapi? Nimeshangaa sana kwa sababu mimi Karega Mboku, majority leader, ndio mwenyekiti wa Car and Mortgage. Sijai peana zaidi ya 1300 hizo, hawa watu wanadai kwamba hizo pesa zimeibiwa.
During yesterday's raid, officers from EACC took with them documents believed to contain important data on the matter. The leadership here says that EACC should handle the matter conclusively, failure to which they could sue the commission. Arnold Adidi, TV47, Vihiga.
Thank you, Arnold Adidi, for that. Let's move on. And President William Ruto has appointed James Kipsiele Tambor as the Director General of the National Youth Service, that is NYS. Now, Kipsiele takes over from Matilda Sakwa, whose tenure ended in April 2023. His appointment follows a selection process in November, during which NYS shortlisted 5 candidates for the position after undergoing interviews on December 4th, 2023. At the NYS headquarters, Kipsiele toppled 4 other candidates who were eyeing the position, including Njiri Nelson Mugweru, Anjere Alfred Tom, Nakitari Humphrey Okuku, and Mbaruku Moses Njeru. Kipsiele has been serving in an acting capacity after taking over from Matilda Sakwa, whose tenure ended in April 2023. Right, and we're due for a very fast commercial break here on TV47 Weekend Edition. Let's take that break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Karibu Maybets. New customer.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haiishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Said, on TV47 Business News.
Thank you so much for staying with us. To Bungoma County now, where literacy levels are low at 60% compared to the national average of over 80%. Poverty, inadequate infrastructure and lack of learning materials are major challenges in the county. Our reporter Wanju Sustin visited some of the schools and highlighted the gaps that exist in the county's early childhood development education sector.
Bungoma County is known for hosting some of the top schools in the country. However, there exists a paradox. Despite this education prowess, the region grapples with the significantly low literacy levels. This predicament is attributed to various factors such as poverty, inadequate infrastructure, a shortage of qualified teachers, and a lack of essential learning resources. A visit to Nangeni Primary School in Bumula constituency paints a stark reality. The ECDE classroom is dilapidated, overcrowded, and managed by a lone teacher.
Those ones are available, they are few and inadequate, and they are not in good condition. To make it worse, the ECD classroom, it is very dusty. It is in very, very bad condition. Watoto wanakaa kwa fumbi. Watoto wanapoingia asubuhi, kitambe ifike nini wakati wa mjana, wanakohoa nini, fumbi ni nyingi. Darasa nini limechivuka.
Tunajua kusoma na kuandika, twende A, B, C, D, E.
Edward Wasike, the school head teacher, sheds light on the challenges faced by the institution, including submerged toilets due to heavy rains, posing health risk to the children.
Vyoo vilianguka, imekuwa nini changamoto. Hata wale maafisa wa public health walipo suru nini hapa shuleni, we were served with a notice for the closure of the school because we have the inadequate toilets. Girls, both girls and boys. Boys, there are 350 and we have only 4 doors.
Maucho Primary School in Kandi constituency mirrors the struggles of Nangeni with approximately 250 pupils. The school faces a myriad of challenges ranging from shared classrooms for different grades. In front of the classroom, the class is in session. Grade 3 pupils are studying mathematics, while at the back science lesson is on for grade 2 pupils. Then there is this perilous playing field filled with the rocks, endangering the safety of children. The inadequate toilet facilities further exacerbate the challenges. The pupils do not share classrooms alone. Here are the toilets that serve both learners, teachers and non-teaching staffs.
Kule nyuma saizi kuna choo ambayo imetengenezwa vizuri, courtesy of Mheshimiwa Enoch.
Tulikuwa na shida na choo. Walimu walikuwa wanaenda pamoja na wanafunzi.
Even in one of the best performing public schools in the country, that is Bungoma DEB Primary School, with over 5,000 learners, facilities pose a significant challenge. While the school excels academically, there is a clear need for improved infrastructure.
Your way of telling the public what happens here, problems and whatever, has always made the government and other stakeholders to come in to help us.
Alfred Eure, the public health officer in Bungoma, says that environment is the key factor in early childhood development of children, urging Ministry of Education and Public Works to ensure proper structures in schools.
The Ministry of Public Works and halikadhalika education, ili kukagua zile ramani zenye za shule plans, approving those building plans, because sisi kama public health najaribu kuangalia hali ya usafi, hali ya afya katika hapo ndani. Jambo lingine ambalo tunazingatia kuangalia sana ni usafi, ni taka, jinsi vile takataka inatolewa na maji taka vile inatolewa.
We look at early childhood to be very important, particularly when we look at the environment. The environment contributes 85% of the development of the child, and the other factor that we look at is nutrition. If we combine the two, nutrition and environment, and improve and invest in those areas, then we shall have very strong students.
As the country transitions to the competence-based curriculum CBC after that 7 years, the ground reality reveals a considerable gap in providing essential resources like laboratories, computers, electricity and learning materials.
Kufanikisha ule mtaala mpya wa CPC, natakana tuwe na computer room, tuwe na laboratory, na mpaka wakati wa leo ingawa kwa kile kiasi kidogo ambacho serikali imetoa mwaka huu, tumenunua baadhi ya vifaa vya laboratory, lakini hatuna laboratory.
To enhance literacy levels in the county, Save the Children, a non-governmental organization, has embarked on sensitizing the public on importance of early childhood education. John Mukenya is a partner at the Save the Children organization.
In this county, the findings are not so good as pertains implementation of CBC. We have our ECD centers which do not have a sufficient space. The classrooms that we actually have the 4 world classrooms, which are not at the standard of being centers that are supposed to be used by the learners. So an ideal ECD center should have at least 2 classrooms, one for PP1, another one for PP2. Then we must have a kitchen, we must have a sleeping area, we must have the wash facilities, and also a store and an office. So that is not the kind of infrastructure that we have in our ECD centers. Number 2, we have a shortage of ECD teachers because the ratio as to now is like 1 teacher to around 40 or 42 learners. But the recommended ratio according to UNICEF is 1 teacher to 25 pupils or learners at the pre-primary level. So we see that we don't have enough teachers.
I want to assure you that the county government of Bungoma is doing quite well in terms of infrastructure, where centers are being built meant for these kids in PP1 and PP2. But my strong advice is we are supposed to move from us putting up just 1 classroom for the 2 of them to have at least minimum of 3 classrooms, where the first classroom is meant for the PP1, the second one is meant for PP2, then the third one can now be shared by the staff, stores, and even childcare. Number 3, our county is interested to keep these kids in school by coming up with feeding program. You see, an empty stomach can't carry the head.
Early childhood is very important in the welfare and the growth of the citizens, both county and national. In Bungoma County, I think we are privileged to have the leadership of His Excellency the Governor, who is really implementing the early childhood. Like this year, he is going to employ 200 teachers of early childhood.
The stakeholders are advocating for increased budget allocation to ensure that county and national government are committing funds towards the early childhood education.
We are doing a lot of advocacy about budget allocation, ensuring that counties and also national government are committing funds towards digital skills development or holistic skills development in our learners. Also, we are doing something we call policy and legal reforms, where we want now to have policies and laws that are friendly to ensuring that we have breadth of skills being emphasized in our learners in the county.
We are very grateful for Save the Children and BCCRN for this breadth of skills, because in their support, the department has been able to make a move in enabling our children to get skills. For this kind of engagement has really enabled the department to be on toes to ensure that our children are getting the best curriculum.
The children are well prepared in the youthful stage, early years. Then we are going to have responsible citizens. And then the financiers, we are appealing to those financiers that please let's support to cap up the difference, the budgets, the county government, the national government, so that we can bring the programs to fruition and then we implement well.
Wanji Sosted, TV47, Bungoma.
Thank you so much, Wanji Sostin, for that piece there from Bungoma. Let's move on. And officers at Quisero Police Station in Kakamega County are detaining an 18-year-old man on allegations of murder of a 52-year-old woman. The man is said to have mutilated the body of Mary Atanda and left it at her home at Shakondo village in Quisero. Chichi Josephine tells us more.
Confirming the incident, Johnston Kabosia, the area OCPD, said the suspect was arrested on Thursday after the victim's mobile phone was tracked and found in his possession in the neighboring Navaholo area.
Na kabla achukue hiyo simu akakiri ya kwamba aliua huyo mama.
Homicide detectives arrived at the compound where the incident took place to look for evidence. However, it is speculated that the young man threw away the equipment used for the murder in the toilet.
Na kuna zile nguo ambazo alikuwa nazo. Kataja ya kwamba nguo moja nilitupa kwa choo. Na wakati wameenda kwa hiyo choo kutafuta hiyo nguo, wakapata kuna nguo kadhaa.
According to Esther Atanda, the victim's mother, her daughter's body was found with sword wounds on the head and neck.
Huyo msichana alikatwa hii shingo paka ikakatika. Ukishika hivi inaenda, ukishika hivi huyo msichana amekatwa hivi, huyo msichana anakatwa mwili yote. Mkono imefunjwa.
The OCPD noted that investigations are ongoing into the incident as the suspect is expected to be presented to court as soon as the investigation is completed.
Kijana tuko na yeye yuko kotini. Tukaomba siku tukakae na yeye. Kesho atakutishwa pale.
Hata daktari anasema anatibu watu wenye wanakatwa achaona mtu kama huyo. Kwa maana anachua si huyu peke yake. Anaficha lakini si yeye peke yake. Ni kitu yenye nasema. Naomba tu Mungu wangu. Hata tana akikufa hawezi kusikwa kwa hii mchanga ya tana ataenda kama anaua msichana wake.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Thank you, Chichi Josephine, for that. And still in Kakamega County, a family in Lugari area is crying for justice after their loved one died in conflicting circumstances at Matete police cells at night. The police commander in Kakamega, Joseph Kigen, said that investigations have been initiated to determine the cause of the death.
Kuranya Njomo and Roslyn Masende, the parents of Mabusu, said that their son was arrested several days ago on allegations of defiling a 6-year-old child. They, however, say they were surprised by the news they received about his death.
Senye alishikiwa, walikuwa wanasema ati ako na kesi ya defilement. Ama askari walisema ati sisi bila 10,000 hatuwezi toa hiyo mtu.
Mimi sina la kusema kwa maana sijui vile mtoto yangu alikufa. Ninajiuliza mtoto yangu aliendaje na nini ilifanya akachiua.
Walikuwa wamepika mapicha wakataka hiyo manguo. Sasa tunataka hiyo manguo ya Moses na ile picha mtusaidie hata munitumia kwa hesabu. OCS akakataa.
They want the government to intervene so that they can get the justice they deserve and an explanation on what really caused Mabusu's death.
Polisi hawezi aenda ashike mtu kwa nyumba alafu ampeleke kwa cell, alale huko siku moja ya pili atamehaka. Lesa haiwezi nyonga mtu. Tunataka haki yetu.
Tunaomba serikali hata mahali penye Kindiki yako, tafadhali mashirika ambayo inatetea mwananchi ikuje mtusaidie, sisi hatuna uwezo.
Kakamega Police Commander Joseph Kigan has said that an investigation has been initiated to determine what caused the death of the deceased.
Investigation inaendelea kwa sababu tumekuwa na experts kutoka hapa regional headquarters ambao wameenda kuchunguza hiyo kisa cha Mabusu kujinyonga katika station.
Natasha Wairimu, TV47.
TV47 Sports, brought to you by Kulik Prize and Radio 47. Make your festive gaming experience memorable. Tune in, play, and stand a chance to unwrap delightful surprises all December long with Radio 47 and Kulik Prize.
That's right, and this is TV47 Sports News. Remember, you now have a chance to win amazing prizes, like an all-expense-paid trip to Mombasa Beach Hotel, Mbuzi, airtime, cooking oil, bus fare, and other prizes with Radio 47 and Kulik Bet. To participate, dial *448#. That's *448# on your phone and follow the prompts. Right, to our first story of the day on the sports segment. Nairobi City Stars have registered their 8th win of the season after defeating Kakamega Homeboys 1-0 in the FKF Premier League match played at the Buhungu Stadium. Wycliffe Opondo scored the winning goal for the Nicholas Moyoti-led side in the 62nd minute. Meanwhile, Austin Odhiambo scored the winning goal as defending champions Gor Mahia stand Bandari 1-0.
Ile kazi vijana wamefanya leo haijakuwa rahisi, imekuwa ni ngumu. Homeboys ni timu nzuri sana na wamekuwa nyumbani, lakini vijana wangu wamekuwa na character, wamekuwa na spirit, na tulipopata hiyo bao moja tukaweza ku defend vizuri, ndipo sasa tukapata hizo point 3, lakini kongole kwa vijana kwa ile kazi wamefanya.
Mechi imekuwa nzuri, though si nzuri kwetu vile, maana lazima tumefungwa na timu ambayo hawajakuwa nzuri vile kuliko wale teams tumekuwa nazo hapa. So unapata hata chance ambayo wamepata, bao ambayo wamepata imekuwa from half a chance to a goal. Basi tumefika kwao mara nyingi, but tumeshindwa kuwa uwerevu kwenye eneo la lango lao.
And double world record holder Faith Kipyegon expressed her excitement after a heroic welcome to her home county Nakuru, organized by Governor Susan Kihika. Now, at the welcoming event, Kihika honored her with a medal, noting that the county recognized her as a heroine and an important stakeholder. This comes a few days after Kipyegon summed up her season with an award from World Athletics as the Female World Athlete of the Year in track events, and honored by President William Ruto with the Order of the Elder of the Golden Heart of Kenya.
Request to you as an assembly, if we could also go ahead, do whatever it takes to do that, and change the name of the Serengeti Stadium to the Faith Kipyegon Stadium. I think that would be really great, because that is where she started. And that is what we want to make such a big track stadium in this county.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I was not expecting this, but I'm so grateful. I was like, oh, I'm going to meet only the governor, but not many people of Nakuru County. I'm so grateful. I think I'm standing here to talk to those girls around here. I've seen the small footballers, young girls. I've seen young women, young girls in athletics. They look after me. If I was not starting running barefooted, being disciplined, waking up early in the morning and listening to coach, and realizing what I can do in future, I don't think I could be Olympic champion. I could have maybe 10 children now. Who can know?
Right, and that piece there on Faith Kipyegon brings us to the end of today's Broadcast TV 47 Weekend Edition. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'll see you again before the end of this